All right, we are back with the good chunk of round two. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, round two of... Actually, this is probably like round six at this point. There's so many decks, ladies and gentlemen. I ask you, why do we cover all of this? Because information is important. So the first list we're going to be looking at is a World Chalice list coming out of a OTS championship piloted by it's from Card Universe, second place, Joao Gabriel Ura. Source is Sergio Pizarra. Man, I'm really terrible with names. I apologize. So, standard World Chalice combos. I will say this about World Chalice in general. A lot of players kind of forget about this deck. This deck's still very much alive and well, actually. And you just have to know a bunch of combos. So, basically, World Chalice and Orcust combo. So we have one copy of Exodius, the Ultimate Forbidden Lord. Got to recycle those combo pieces. Triple copies of Nightmare Corruptor Ibli. Triple copies of Lee, the World Chalice Fairy. One copy of Symbol Skeleton, and triple copies of Harp Horror. Better hope you never lose this. Then we have two copies of Orcust Nightmare. Then we have triple copies of Vishuddha. Basically, this just acts as a one-card special summon out anything on your opponent's field for a Link monster, which is actually really good. Then we have two copies of the World Chalice Guard Dragon. Triple copies of the best card in your deck, the World Legacy World Chalice itself. This card just literally makes all your combos go. Then we have the one World Wand. Then we have the one Beckoned by the World Chalice, and triple copies of Check This Out. Spells, we have triple copies of Called by the Grave, one Emergency Teleport, triple copies of Instant Fusion, one Monster Reborn, one Babble, and the one Return for draw power. And we have two Twin Twister, triple copies of Unexpected Die, one World Legacy Succession, and then traps, two Crescendo, one Shade Brigadine, and one copy of the World Legacy Sorrows. Then we have one copy of Almirage to start our combos, one copy of Monk of the Tenyi, one Longrisu, one Link Spider, one Nightmare Phoenix, one Mermaid, and one Cerberus. Then we have the one Imduk, two Galtea, one Decode Talker, one Borreload, one Dingrisu, one Ib, and one copy of El Shaddai Winda. In the side deck area, we have two Lancia, two DD Crow, two Pancratops, two Ghost Bell, triple Dark Ruler No More, triple Hatronade, and one copy of Twin Twister. Wrapping up this list. Once again, we see that tag of Hatronade showing up in the side deck. Just auto spot removal to anything that Skysharker could honestly throw at you, and free removal. And also, the fact that we're playing the World Legacy Sorrows, when your opponent activates a spell, trap card, or monster effect while you control a co-linked monster, negate that activation if you do destroy that card. And of course, you can only do one of these per turn, but it's another World Legacy card that you have access to, ladies and gentlemen. I like this. This is interesting tech. Now, the next list we have here is Batteryman. Is the Thunder list making top 32 at YCS Niagara Falls. Hayek Chang was actually playing this, and the source of this is actually from him himself. I know a lot of players kind of look at Thunder, they're like, oh, we need Dimension Shifters. Yeah, we need Phantasmes. Yeah, we need Nibiru's. This deck does one thing very well, and it puts boss monsters on the field like it's my job. And it uses these monsters to basically disrupt the opponent. So this is some love for Thunders. So we have triple copies of Batteryman Solar. There's a big argument between this and Aloof Lupine. Quite honestly, seeing Aloof being cut from a lot of builds right now. It's very interesting, but this card basically does start your full combo, sends from the deck, and then makes tokens to make your life much easier to do. This is definitely the combo starter you want. We have one copy of Denko Sekka, and we have triple copies of Dimension Shifter. Nothing says LOL than just turning off everything your opponent's doing. We have triple copies of Phantasme for the draw power. Triple copies of Nibiru, the Primal Being. Triple copies of Thunder Dragon. Triple Thunder Dragon Dark. One Dragon Duo. Triple copies of Dragon Hawk. Triple Dragon Matrix. And the triple copies of the Dragon Roar. Spells here, we have triple copies of Lure Darkness. One copy of Goldstark. Triple copies of Instant Fusion. Two Pot of Desires, and two copies of the Thunder Dragon Fusion, wrapping up the main deck here. Down here in the extra deck, we have the one copy of Summer Summoner, one copy of Lambda, one Link Karibo, one Unicorn, one Phoenix, one copy of Mr. Indestructible Kun. You'd be surprised how good this card actually is in these decks. Like, it's so good. We have one Appaloosa, triple copies of Thunder Dragon Titan, triple copies of Colossus. I know there was a build recently that was playing 2 Titan, and I still kind of look at that concept and I'm like, but why though? We have 1,000 Eyes Strict and 1 copy Kaminari attack. Side deck here with triple copies of Artifact Lancia, 1 Scythe and 1 Denko, triple copies of Mind Control, triple copies of MST, 2 copies of Artifact Sanctum, and 2 copies of EEV. Interesting to see just a 2 splice engine here of Sanctum. I get what you're going for with this, but you couldn't cut anything else. Like, kind of interesting, at least in terms of generalized numbers for that. So that's Mr. Hayek's list. Next up, we have Pendulums. It's coming out of Card Universe's exact same tournament that you sold the second place list for here. This list was piloted by Sebastian Munaz Sanchez, and of course, the source of these lists was Sebastian himself. Actually finishing relatively well at his event. First place is pretty nice for these. So, what's going on with this? So, Pendulum's kind of taken a backseat for a majority of this format. I mean, that's not a bad thing, but there's just kind of something about this deck that it has problems with the format. Your combo extenders and things need to go. Plus, one of the best cards in your deck, sometimes just it doesn't turn off Thunder. So, we have triple copies of Chronograph Sorcerer, still the best starter that we have in this deck. 1 Destrudo, 2 copies of Endymion, the mighty master of magic, super high scale go. 2 copies of Magical Abductor, triple copies of the Magister of Endymion, triple copies of the Mystical Beast Jackal King, triple copies of Mythical Beast Master Cerberus, triple copies of the Servant. Watching this bring out our big guy here when you've placed 3 spells for the turn, basically. This card scares me. We have triple copies of Darkworm, 1 copy of the Gate Zero, and 1 copy of the Time Gazer Magician. Spells pretty simple here. We have triple Lure Darkness, triple Dragon Shrine, 1 Foolish Barrel, 2 copies of Desires, 2 copies of the Secret Village. I mean, hey, we should have no problem sticking that spellcaster on the field. Triple copies of Spell Power Mastery, and 1 copy of the Upstar Goblin. Turning the extra deck, we have the 1 Zephyr Metaltron, of course, 1 Triple Burst, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Heavenly Spheres, 1 Electromite, 1 LP, 1 Agripain, 1 copy of Daybreaker, 1 Boral Sword and 1 Boral Odkun, 1 copy of the Bouncer, 1 Norito, 1 FA Dawn Dragster, 1 Arcanite Magician, and 1 copy of the Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. And inside deck here we have 2 copies of Pankratops, 2 copies of Effect Veiler, 2 copies of Lava Golem, 2 copies of Nibiru, 1 Zephranu, 2 copies of MST, triple copies of Red Reboot, and 1 copy of the Zephyr Divine Strike, wrapping up this list. Overall, like I said, Pendulum just kind of struggles with the current format. It's nothing that the deck itself can actually fix. I really wish it could. But unfortunately, there's just only so much you can do being a Pendulum player these days. The last list we have here is the second place list coming out of YCS again. I just wanted to kind of tack this on because we've been covering Cyber Dragon Orcust. I literally have been doing this every video. We're covering Blair's list, his first 2 iterations. It's very interesting to see this deck's evolution. And Lithium was kind enough to get this information out to the community. So again, we have triple copies of Cyber Dragon, triple copies of Cyber Dragon Core, triple copies of Cyber Dragon Hearse, 2 copies of Naxter. This is definitely the safest number for this card. 2 Nessie, 2 Jackalope, and 2 Tsuchinoko. 2 copies of the Galaxy Serpent, 1 copy of the Gizmek. Definitely saw this in Blair's full running list as a tech extender. This is very good. We have 1 Simple Skeleton and 2 Harpor, along with 2 Orcust Nightmare. We have triple copies of Called by the Grave, triple copies of Cyber Emergency, 1 Repair Plant, 1 Rev System, triple Machine Duplication, and 1 Monster Reborn. Down here in the extract, we have 2 Cybernetic Overflow and 1 Crescendo. Or excuse me, traps are 2 Overflow, 1 Crescendo. Extract is 1 Almirage. This card is actually a staple. Watching this allow you to play around the There Can Only Be One was phenomenal. 1 Longrisu, 1 Phoenix, 1 Mermaid, 1 copy of Cerberus, 2 copies of Galtea, 1 Boral Sword, 1 Dingrisu, 1 Nova, 1 Infinity, 1 Rampage, 2 Mega Fleet, and 1 Fortress Dragon. Side deck here with triple copies of Droll Knockbird, triple copies of Nibiru, triple copies of Twin Twister, triple copies of DD Ground, and triple copies of Evenly Matched, wrapping up Sam's list. Honestly, this metagame's looking pretty interesting. Diversity is a good thing. I mean, You still have the same Cyber Dragon Orcust list everywhere, constantly evolving, but I mean, it just wouldn't be the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Without some sort of consistent factor. So guys, what do you think about these lists? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side. Do serene. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out VanCole40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.